Hello, welcome to College Russian, and in this lesson we are continuing our discussion about hard and soft consonants, and in this lesson we'll be talking about how they affect, how hard and soft consonants affect spelling and plurals. So, in order to determine the hardness of a consonant or the stem of a word, you need to look at the last consonant in a word. This will give you the stem. So you take off the last vowel or anything that's there, all you care about is that last consonant. So let's review. How do we know if a consonant is hard? We know a consonant is hard if it's followed by any of these letters. This symbol means, is it the last consonant in a word? So space, end of the word. If it's the last consonant in the word, we assume it's hard. If it's followed by a, e, o, u, or I, we know it's a hard consonant. On the other side, we know it's a hard consonant if it's followed by any of these. Ya, ye, yo, you, I, мягкий знак, which is also known as the soft sign, or this called и краткое, and you see that at the end of some masculine words. Okay, so let's practice our ability to determine hardness and softness of consonants with some words here. So look at this T. Is it hard or soft? And how do you know? It's hard, because if it's at the end of a word, we assume it's hard. Okay? Машина. Okay, so we're looking at the last consonant, not the vowel. We're looking at the last consonant. We're looking at whether this is a hard indicator vowel or a soft indicator vowel. Is it hard or soft? It's hard. Good. So we know that this N is hard. Okay, next. Let's look at this one. Кухня. Кухня. Is this so we look at the vowel. Is it a soft indicator vowel or a hard indicator vowel? It's soft. There it is. Okay, so listen to how these two are pronounced differently. Машина, кухня, кухня. Good. So we know that this N is soft. How about this word? Преподаватель. Is this L hard or soft? Do we see any indicators that it might be soft? Good. Мягкий знак tells us that this L is soft. Okay, so this is all going to be important because when we go to pluralize these words, we're going to want to know which letter we should add. In red here, I have what I'm going to make up a word here. We're going to call these our pluralizers. Okay, so these are what you add to the end of a word to make them plural. So I is our hard pluralizer and I is our soft pluralizer. Okay, so plurals are made with adding I to the stem. Okay, so if it ends in a hard consonant, we add the hard pluralizer, I. Okay, there's just a little reminder for you up there. We add I to the end of the stem if the last consonant in the stem is soft. Okay, so this is our soft pluralizer. Okay, so let's look at this first word. This means, so in Russian it's student, meaning student. How do we say students? So first we need to look at this last letter to determine if it's hard or soft. And we see that it's hard. Okay, so how do we make it plural? We add the hard pluralizer, студенты. Good. So here comes another one, машина. You guys don't know about gender necessarily yet, but this is feminine. That's why it has a vowel on the end. It has on the end. But that's not important. All we care about is whether the stem is hard or soft. So we look at this letter. We look at this vowel. Is it a vowel that tells us that this is hard or soft? It's a hard vowel. Good. So we know that this N is hard, and it should get the appropriate pluralizer. Should it get a hard pluralizer or a soft pluralizer? The hard pluralizer. Good. So this means car. How would you say cars in Russian? Машины. Очень хорошо. Okay. How about this one? Кухня. We look at the last consonant in the word. And is it followed by a soft or a hard vowel? It's followed by a soft vowel. So we then need to use the soft pluralizer. Кухни. Кухни. Good. Okay. This last one. Преподаватель. Okay, we don't have a vowel here at the end, but we do have мягкий знак. So that tells us that this L is soft. And which means to make it plural, what would we do? We take off the мягкий знак and add our soft pluralizer преподаватели. Good. So now let's practice with those rules. What I just taught you, I want you to go through and see if you can pluralize these various words using either the hard pluralizer for hard stems or the soft pluralizer for soft stems. Okay, корова. This is a hard vowel, tells us this is hard, therefore we need коровы to make it hard, or we need the hard pluralizer. Коровы, cows. Okay, how about this one? Тетрадь. Тетрадь. Мягкий знак tells us this is soft. So, which one do we need? Good, we need the soft pluralizer. Тетради. Okay, how about this one? Телевизор. What do we know about consonants at the end of the word? We assume they're hard. We assume they're hard, okay? So, телевизоры. Телевизоры. Good. How about this one? Семья means family. We want to say families. We look at the last consonant. Is it hard or soft? Oh, this one's majorly soft. This has got мягкий знак and ya, so it's very soft. So we're going to just replace this ya with what? With e. Good. Семьи. How about this one? Школа. Is it hard or soft? Last consonant. Good, it's hard. So we need to maintain the integrity of it, stay true to its hardness, and replace the with the hard pluralizer. So as you'll notice here, I have to maintain the integrity of all of these consonants. So I have to choose a hard vowel or a soft vowel. So that's why it's important to know the hardness and the softness. Okay, so based on what I've just taught you, you might come to a word like this, hot dog, meaning hot dog, and want to make it plural like this. And this would be horribly wrong. You'd make a babushka cry somewhere, okay? So this is a horrible violation of what's called the 7-letter spelling rule. So there are 7 letters in Russian that you don't write, even if they're at the end of a word, even if they're followed by a hard vowel, you do not write I after them, okay? You write instead E. So I'm going to revise these little reminder notes up here and add to the soft pluralizer that you add E if it's followed by a soft consonant or if it's after one of the 7 letters. Okay, so the way you would actually write this word is hot dogi. Okay, and that's because this G is one of the 7 letters. Here is the rule for you. So the 7-letter spelling rule tells us that after the letters K, G, H, Sh, Sh, J, Ch, you don't ever write I. Instead, you write E. So this applies to nouns, verbs, adjectives. You just never ever in the Russian language write I after these 7 letters. So you'll just need to memorize those. One of the ways you can memorize them is K, G, H, all the ones that happen at the back of your throat, and shush, all of what these are called hushers, all of the ones you're sort of making a hushing sound for. Okay, so after any of these 7 letters, you never write I, you write E instead. Okay, so let's practice the 7-letter rule here. Babushka, grandma. How would you say grandmas? Babushki, right? So K is one of the 7 letters. You write E instead of I. How about this one? Karandash, pencil. How would you say pencils? Karandashi. Очень хорошо. Okay, how about this one? Подруга, girlfriend. How would you write girlfriends? G is one of the 7 letters, so we write подруги. Okay, how about this one? Врач, which means doctor. How would you say doctors? Врачи. Good. How about this one? Муха, a fly. How would you say flies? Мухи. Good. And lastly, this word, if you're new to Russian, you don't quite know it yet, but падеж is a case. Russian has 6 of them. They will cause you a lot of pain and suffering in your life, but it's okay. You're going to learn them, and you're going to love it. How would you make this plural? How would you say cases? Падежи. Падежи. Okay, so I want you to notice a little something about the way I'm pronouncing this word, карандаши, and the way I'm pronouncing this word, падежи. That's really confusing because it sounds like I'm pronouncing it as shi and ji, right? Can you hear that? Карандаши and падежи. You hear how it sounds like I'm saying this? Well, because I am saying that, but because of the 7-letter spelling rule, I can never ever write that. because sh and zh are always hard. So that's why it sounds like I'm saying карандаши and падежи, because sh and zh are always hard, no matter what follows them. Okay? So if you're hearing that, that's what's happening there. But just remember, you never, ever, ever, ever write shi or zhi, ever. And never write I after any of these 7 letters. Okay, so let's apply all of the rules we've learned so far about plurals and turn these words into plurals. Student. How would we make this plural? Ends in a t, nothing to indicate softness, not one of the 7 letter spelling rules, so it would be studienty. Good. Машина ends in an a, but all we care about here is the n. Is it hard or soft? It's hard because a is a hard vowel, and it's not one of the 7 letters, so it would be машинный. Good. Машинный. Okay, how about this one? Студентка ends in an a, but k is one of the 7 letters, so what do we write instead? Студентки. How about here? Семья, m. Is it hard or soft? Oh, it's very soft. Okay, so we don't care about the 7 letters here. It's soft. It's getting e no matter what. Семьи. Good. How about this one? Язык ends in a consonant, but that consonant is one of the 7 letters, so we have to write языки. How about this one? Hot dog. Yes, it ends in a consonant, but the consonant is one of the 7 letters, so hot dogi. And lastly, преподаватель ends in a consonant, but it's followed by a мягкий знак, which indicates softness. So what would the plural be? Преподаватели. Очень хорошо. Okay, so now for you beginning learners, this is going to be a little bit over your head, but I just want it to be out there for some of the more advanced learners. So understanding hard and soft stems is really important for once you go to start putting words into cases. Okay, so this affects, for example, we'll just take, for example, genitive case, which is the case that shows possession. So in order to understand which letter you should add, so over here, remember, when something's masculine, you add an a or a ya. When something's feminine, you replace it with an I or an e. Okay, well, how do you know which one you do? Well, it's really easy. It comes down to whether the last letter in the last consonant in the word is hard or soft. Exactly what we were just doing with plurals. But instead of replacing instead of adding I or e to the end, you're going to be adding a or ya or I or e. Okay? So for example, let's put student into genitive case. We apply the same rules. We look at this consonant, determine whether it's hard or soft. If it's hard, we come over here and add a. Студент, студента. Good. Это книга студента, for example. This is the student's book. Good. Same thing is going to apply here, and keep in mind the 7-letter spelling rules, because you can never, ever, 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 regardless of what case is in, regardless of what part of speech it is, write I after ka. Okay, so how would you say of the girl? So even though this is followed by a hard vowel, k is one of the 7 letters, which means we have to write девушки. Good. Девушки, which looks like plural, coincidentally. Okay, how about this one? Музей. How would we put this into genitive case? So this tells us it's soft, so we need to come over here. These are the genitive endings for soft stems. So it would be музея. Okay? And lastly, how about this? Семья. We want to put this into genitive case. Are we working with a soft stem or a hard stem here? Soft. Ya is soft. So we come over here for feminine. We know that семья is feminine. And we're going to do I, семьи. Good. Okay, so that's just out there. You now understand why understanding hardness and softness is so important in Russian, because it's not only going to affect your pronunciation, but it's also going to affect your spelling. And that's all for this lesson. Check back for more updates and more information that will help you in your college classes.